the starter for the PCL is Chris Gazelle. He made 18 starts too far this season. A 2.62 ERA. Very good numbers in the PCL. There are a lot of good hitter ballparks in this league. He has given up just 99 hits in 113 innings. He's not overpowering, but he has good command of the strike zone and good size. He's 6'5". He made his debut with the Rockies last year. Actually started against the St. Louis Cardinals at the end of the season. His first major league start came on September 26th against St. Louis. So this guy has had a taste of the big leagues, and his desire now, of course, is to get back and help that St. Louis Cardinal club.
Actually released by the Giants Fresno franchise, and then went on at Colorado Springs to lead the Pacific Coast League with 14 wins. Defensively, here is how the International League will hit into the PCL defenders. Gazelle throwing to Gerald Laird behind the plate. Jackson Green, Herman, Coolbaugh in the infield, and Gonzalez, Godwin, Watson in the outfield. Adam Dowdy of the Pacific Coast League is the home plate umpire. Troy Fullwood of the International League at first. Mark Morrow of the PCL at second. And Chad Fairchild of the International League is at third. B.J. Upton, 20-year-old former #2 overall pick in the 2002 draft by Tampa Bay out of Greenbrier Christian Academy. B.J. for Boss Man Jr. His given name is Melvin Emanuel. Dad was the original Boss Man.
Well, why couldn't my parents come up with nicknames like that? I love that.
And the first pitch outside from Gazelle. Up with Tampa Bay at age 19 last year. B.J. Upton at 292. Bat goes flying. Foul ball, 1-1.
Let the ball come to him. You're going to see one of the strongest arms in all of baseball when he gets that ball to shortstop in the hole.
Well, I think the thing we have to remember, he's 20 years old. But he was in the major leagues at 19 years old last year and held his own offensively. He did struggle up there defensively. They moved him off the shortstop. Now he's back at AAA playing every day.
New weapon, fouls that one back 2-1-2. Last year at age 19, up with the Devil Rays. August 17th, went deep.
Well, this is the thing you love about a young hitter, his ability to go opposite field with power. You can't teach that. Lou Piniella, the manager, was thrilled when he saw his power to the opposite field and said, man, that's something we can work with.
That one off Kelvin Escobar. The 2-2 pitch from Gazelle is again foul back. Now, Buck, you said 30 errors. That doesn't draw any degree of worry from you about his glove and his major league defense?
I think you have to let him learn how to play the position. And if you look at Derek Jeter's numbers for a similar amount of games in the minor leagues, Derek Jeter actually had the same amount of errors. And oftentimes we're comparing young players like Upton to a major league polished Derek Jeter.
Mike Coolbaugh handles a hot shot, and Connor Jackson scoops the throw from Coolbaugh to retire Upton. And one gone at the top of the first. Jake Gautreau now. Second baseman hitting .279 with 16 home runs. Has driven in 45 for the Buffalo Bisons. Cleveland Indians AAA. Jake Gautreau from McAllen, Texas, played at Tulane. Helped the Green Wave make their first ever College World Series appearance in 2001. And here's how valued he was at Tulane. He had the rarest thing for any male college athlete, a full scholarship in baseball. Those really do not exist.
You put up some good numbers if you get that. And Gautreau, first-round pick by the San Diego Padres in 2001. And this offseason, the Padres and the Indians made an interesting trade. They traded former first-round draft picks from the minor leagues who just had kind of gotten a little bit stagnant. It has worked out very well for Gautreau and the Indians because he's turned his career around right now, putting up some significant offensive numbers.
College teams have 11.7 scholarships spread around 25 or more players, and that's how valued Gautreau was at Tulane. Big cut at that one, 2-2. 2004 split the year between AA Mobile, AAA Portland. Total 19 homers. He's already at 16. A third baseman all of last year. And that one foul back, still 2-2.
We talk about that trade that the Padres and the Indians made. It's not often that you do that, but when you have a player that's kind of just gotten stagnant, you look around for deals where something might be made. And Gautreau said just the change of scenery has done him wonders. Not that there was anything wrong with the Padres. He just feels more comfortable and more relaxed in the Indians organization.
Well, and the Indians have a boatload of good young hitters, and this looks like Gautreau might fit into that mold. When you think about the big league players that are up there right now, Johnny Peralta, their shortstop, played in this AAA game a year ago, and now they are looking at him as a clutch hitter playing shortstop every day for a team that hopes to get to the postseason.
2-2 pitches roped, foul down the right field line, and it remains 2-2 to Gautreau. That is some tight quarters there down the right side.
One of the beauties of minor league stadiums is that the fans are right on top of the play, but it's also one of the risks when you're sitting down the line there that the line drives can find you.
Gautreau continues to spray him both ways. Raley Field, 14,000 plus seats. Packed on Monday night for the Home Run Derby, opened 5 years ago. And they have led the minor leagues in attendance with the Rivercats here in Sacramento every year. That 2000 season, Raley Field wasn't quite ready for opening day. And the Rivercats played their first 37 games on the road before Raley Field was finally completed. Worth the wait. 3-2 pitch popped up over for Lucas Coolbaugh, and this will also come out of play.
Well, one thing you could look forward to was a good second half at home.
I'll tell you, if I were the Expos, I would start looking at players that had played in Sacramento and performed well, because what the Expos went through for a couple of years, not much different than what they went through here in Sacramento.
Tower Bridge just across the Sacramento River, and Gautreau continues to wear out Chris Gasell here. One out in the first.
Gasell can't figure out what to do to retire Gautreau. He's been able to foul off just about every pitch he has seen.
12 pitches. And time called by the home plate umpire Adam Dowdy.
I tell you, I love to see this in a young hitter, seeing this many pitches, not only for him and his own at bat, but also for the other guys in the dugout to be able to check the pitcher out. They get 13 now, right? 13 pitches.
Now you see in the outfield, the sun is really shining brightly in left field, but the right fielder, Matt Watson, who plays here in his home ballpark, playing for the Rivercats, is used to that. And he's got to deal with the sun as he looks right toward that sun setting in the west. Wow, what did they bat?
Something else, huh?
I'm not sure if Gasell is going to go beyond 2 batters in the first inning.
Well, nobody's stirring in the bullpen just yet.
14 pitches and counting, and another 3-2 pitch, finally fair and ripped right to Watson, a base hit for Gautreau. Having sufficiently worn down Chris Gasell, Gautreau aboard with 1 out of the first.
Well, he had a very good 2-strike approach, fighting off pitches, and then he got what he could handle, turned on it quickly. Nice stroke right there. Very nice swing. I'll tell you, Sacramento, the Cats are an affiliate of the Oakland A's, and what do the Oakland A's like to do? They like their hitters to see a lot of pitches.
Take a lot of pitches, that's for sure.
Mitch Jones of Columbus now. 61 runs batted in, leads the International League. He got 20 home runs. That's the tops in tonight's roster, and the home run derby champion on Monday night over Ian Kinsler.
Boy, did he put on a show. It looked like nobody was going to hit home runs, and then he took over and hit them all over the place. Tremendous power. And he's always hit for power wherever he's played. But one thing that really jumps out at you on the stat sheet, strikeouts. 111 strikeouts already this season. But man, does he have some power.
And he has 39 last year. Gasell working pretty quickly, throwing lots of pitches. Another line drive to right is going to fall in there. And Gautreau will take third. The throw is offline. First and third for the International League with 1 out in the top of the first. Gautreau never hesitating around second base on that base hit by Jones.
Good piece of hitting by Jones. Gautreau takes a peek at Watson out there. He says, I'm going to third. He should go to third. Base hit like that to right, where the right fielder has to move toward the line, especially a right-handed thrower. You have to go first and third. Good hustle.
That brings up the left fielder, the cleanup hitter, John Ford Griffin, who is hitting .250 with 17 home runs, 61 runs batted in at Syracuse. John Ford Griffin, former Yankee #1 draft pick, 4 years ago out of Florida State, where the Seminoles coach Mike Martin said he was the best hitter in the program's history.
Boy, that's pretty high praise considering the history of the Seminoles.
And the 2-0 pitch into center field, where Godwin makes the catch. Gautreaux tagging, and the throw bounces off the mound, and Gautreaux slides in safe. It's 1-0.
I tell you what, that's what's so difficult about throwing from center field. Everybody talks about center fielders that don't have a good arm, but they've always got to deal with the mound. It's a pretty strong throw. Godwin unloads it right on line, but watch him catch the mound and kick straight up into the air, and that keeps the catcher late from making a play on it. Not a bad throw at all. Looks like it's right on the money, but then it kicks on the edge of that mound and goes away to the first base side of home plate. Godwin had a shot at throwing him out. We got to get it above the mound, get it past that mound.
Ernie Young, 36 years of age. He was drafted by the A's in 1990. 10th rounder out of Lewis University in Illinois, and many, many stops. Countless bus rides, countless box lunches later, and a few stops in the major leagues. Here he is, still with hopes of at least one more return to the show. Power still there, 19 home runs, 66 runs batted in. One of 3 AAA All-Stars, 35 or older in our game tonight. Billy Miller's going to chat with Ernie later on. Last in the major leagues as a starter 2 years ago. 2003's last 2 years he spent with Buffalo.
You know, you look at the Indians organization, so many young hitters on their major league team. Why do they bring a guy like Ernie Young in? And it's not only to be an insurance policy, but it's also to be that veteran presence at AAA with young prospects. He's like having another coach on the team at AAA. So they're paying him pretty good money to play AAA ball. And, you know, he had, what, 4 at-bats in the major leagues last season. So he's there not only for being that insurance, but he can help a lot of the young hitters.
And he's called out, called strike 3 to end the first. Giselle, though, gives up 2 singles, a sacrifice fly, and we head to the bottom of the first, 1-0. PCL coming to bat. Griffin sacrifice flies. And here's Garco, catcher with Buffalo. Cleveland AAA, he takes a strike. At Stanford, winner of the Johnny Bench Award, which goes to the top collegiate catcher in the country in 2003. With .402 that year, led the Cardinals to the finals of the College World Series. Giselle armed with the 4-run lead. Nothing but strikes so far to Garco.
A third-round pick, 2003 draft. And again, a guy that hits the ball to all fields. The power's going to come. Great makeup, though. A lot of leadership skills in this kid. And you know, they've got him behind the plate doing some catching, but also playing first base 2 or 3 days a week. I think you're going to start to see more of a transition of him going to first base. You see the bottom question there. Can he be a catcher? A lot of thoughts that they're grooming him to play first base. The Indians team right now, as they're currently constituted in the major leagues, is short one big right-handed bat. They need a right-handed bat to break up the lefties in that lineup. They're hoping he'll develop into that guy in the future.
Second straight strikeout for Giselle. Garco is retired. Gary Miller's with one of the veterans.
I'm out here every day and just appreciate being here. And, you know, it's a weight off my shoulders, and no one can ever take it from me.
You know, you took from yourself being part of history. You went up, you got a hit, your only major league at bat, and then you went back.
My feet wet, and, you know, all the guys were kidding me. It was a cup of coffee. And
2 balls and 2 strikes to Encarnacion. Moonlight Graham referred to, the character played by Burt Lancaster in Field of Dreams. 1 major league at bat. And so far, that's the sum total of the rest. Resume is short. This is a deep drive by Encarnacion, and it is gone to left center field. 5-2. Encarnacion up just in the last couple of weeks with the Cincinnati Reds. 13 home runs in AAA at the All-Star break, and a solo shot here with 1 out in the second.
Well, we talked about him in the open, and this kid's got a lot of potential with the bat. Great power right there. Let the ball get deep into the zone. Hitting against that front leg, rotating through, and the power comes up through the bat. drives it out of the gap.
Encarnacion got his first major league hit against Andy Pettit. 1st of July, and he got a little taste for major leagues. And Steve, as you mentioned, it sounds as though they're ready to move Joe Randa out of there and put him next to Felipe Lopez and give them the left side of their infield for a number of years.
Michael
Get bigger and stronger and fill out even more. He could be a force.
Here's Chip Ambrose, Pawtucket Red Sox. Center fielder with a .302 average. 25 years of age, out of Beaumont, Texas. Originally signed as a quarterback with Texas A&M, but never enrolled. Signed instead with the Marlins. Lots of football offers. Texas A&M, Nebraska. On the 2-0 pitch, line to right, coming in Matt Watson to make the grab.